Hey guys, welcome back to Dislyte. In today's video, we're looking at my free-to-play 3-man, 3-unit Chronos 10 team. So for this one, I got the inspiration from this. I saw a Daddy free-to-play video. I'll leave it linked in the description. It was from the soft launch where he was doing 3-man and he was doing it with Drew, Yeshua, and Sander. And Sander's an absolute beast for this. And before we actually get into this, because I know some people will be looking at this like, I can't even 5-man it. One tip that I have that I've been giving to people in Discord, you can jump into my Discord if you want, links in the description as always. But one tip that I've been giving to people, and I've seen it like it's actually been working for them, is if you're struggling with Chronos, try killing the right crystal first. That's what I'm doing here with this team, because a lot of the time fails in Chronos actually happen because of Chronos moving himself, then the crystal buffing him before you can get mitigation up, and then you get screwed. I just wanted to take note that in this run, we actually had the Experiment alive at the boss, and he gets killed, but it's still fine. But yeah, if you're struggling in Chronos and you feel like you're just about there, you try attacking the right crystal. I had someone in Discord yesterday struggling. I said maybe try attacking the right crystal. They went from not being able to clear 9 to doing like 6 out of 10 on Chronos 10. So it's not too bad, just a tip to help you guys along. But this team here, the cool thing about this team is I did try 2-man with just Drew and Yeshua. I got a 5 out of 10, so a 50% clear rate. That was only on 110 run. But I was like, okay, that team's pretty solid. I think if I had better relics on my Yeshua, and I'll go through my relics in a sec, I feel like if I had better relics on her, faster relics, she's at about plus 136 speed, I think. If I could get her to like plus 160, which my main account is, I think we'd be fine. But my main account doesn't have Drew, so I couldn't test that there. But all in all, this team works really well. I threw the bestowed in there for 2 reasons. One, I was going to bring another damage dealer. I didn't have another good Hades set, because ideally you want the Hades set so that the DPS can heal themselves up even if you get unlucky stuns. But the rest of the stuff that this team brings is you got 2 units with a defense break. Now, bestowed isn't going to land the defense break too much because she does miss a lot due to her being a wind element. So, you know, that's the thing. She does have gauge pushback as well sometimes, but she's really just there for the shield and the regen. Then we do have another defense break and damage over there on the Drew. And then Yeshua brings the attack up, the defense up, and the attack break, which is really solid. And we can normally kill that right crystal after its first use. So Chronos only gets boosted once, then you run out of then you don't have the chance of the bad timing where Chronos moves, then instantly crystal, Chronos gets boosted, and then nukes your team. Also, after that right crystal's dead, we don't actually have it on right now, which sucks, but you know, once you land that attack break, it doesn't get dispelled, which is really nice. Same with the defense break, allowing you to add to it. But unfortunately, like I said, nothing has stuck in this run. We got no debuffs on him. But that is the team. Now, you are going to need really good relics for this, but the thing about this is if we look at this, so we've just finished the battle, we'll actually see the experience that we're getting from bringing these Experiment. And this is something that I actually love about this game. So let's just check the experience. I can't remember. It's like 2,000 or something. So what do we get? 1,500 plus an extra 11. So like 2,600, 2,632 experience on 2 Experiment. Really nice added experience to get while you're farming relics. And yes, this team is about 2.5 minutes, I think it was. We'll have a look at the end. And Daddy free to play, he was doing it with the Sander. Dude was doing it in like 1-minute runs, which is crazy. But the cool thing about this game, I highly disliked the stamina system. I still think stamina is too expensive, but now that I'm getting into the game, I actually don't mind the stamina system of having a daily cap, because it allows you to do these sorts of things more freely. So due to the fact that you can only refresh stamina so many times, some players don't even refresh stamina. Building these type of optimal teams is really nice. So what this game's actually done is, I thought that the stamina system was going to stop you from building speed teams, but because of the boosters, you still have to build speed teams. And because there's a limit, it means I can run this at 2.5-minute clears and I can still go through my 10 refills in a day, but I'm also getting experience and leveling up fodder along the way, which is really nice. Now, the one thing I forgot to mention about this team, bestowed is the only leader that we do have, but she does have resistance, which is kind of nice to try and avoid some of those stuns in this boss phase. It's not the greatest one. If you had a speed lead or something like that, it would be really nice, but a really solid free-to-play version. Now, eventually, like I said, you can definitely drop the bestowed for another DPS, I think. especially like the Sander with turn gauge manipulation. I was thinking maybe even trying Lucas. I did 6-star my Lucas, but he's still level 50, so I will experiment with that in the future as well. But in general, it's a really solid team. All units that are worth building anyway. If you don't have Drew, you can always try something else. If you've got like a Lin Zhao or something like that, basically any other damage dealer will work. It's just handy having one with a defense break so you can speed up the kills. But, you know, if you've built something else, that's fine. You don't need to build Drew. But like Bested's one that just about everyone will end up building for Fafnir, and Yeshua is just one that's amazing for everything, so people build her anyway. Keeping in mind, those two are still at level 5-star, level 50, so if I boosted them up, it becomes, well, I haven't failed yet. I've done about 30 runs and haven't failed. So it would become even more safe. Also, if you have worse relics, it might become a thing. But like I said, you will need good relics. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce out. We'll come back once we finish looking at relics and look at the end of the 10 run to see how we did, average times and clears and stuff like that. So if we jump over here, so Drew, now my Drew is, I'm pretty proud of my Drew, because how far into this? So this is my free-to-play account. I haven't spent anything. I just use all farmable units, except in guild battles, because I want to win those. But if we go here to missions, let's check achievements. We are on day 26 of the free-to-play account, so I'm pretty proud of my Drew after 26 days. He's pretty stacked. I do get that. I don't think you need this quite this quality. I think you need these defensive stats. I find that, you know, he can survive a rock drop from the boss. If you're using a water unit, you need less stats, in my opinion, because you do have the advantage. A flow unit, sorry. I really want to test this with Oli on my other account, but I don't have a good Hades set because I've farmed too much Chronos already. But the speed is very important as well. You want them on have decent speed, and like I said, these defensive stats work pretty well for a neutral element unit. And then obviously you want to stack crit rate, bit of accuracy to land those defense breaks, and then the rest into crit damage. Now I've got 100% crit rate, pretty chunky crit damage. If my crit rate was a bit lower, it wouldn't really hurt. It would just mean, you know, maybe I miss a couple crits and it takes a little bit longer. That's all that would affect. So you don't really need that kind of... if I was failing, for instance, and my Drew was like dying from a rock drop, maybe I'd sacrifice some crit rate subs and get some extra HP or defense subs just to account for that, because the crit rate isn't the most important thing. But if we look at his relics, this one is going to be crit damage. Like I said, Hades, ideally you'd want him on the Sword Avatara or the Revenge set, so that he could revenge and get the job done quicker. But you know, it's not the end of the world. Just choose whatever's got the best stats. So I've got crit damage here, I've got the attack here, looking for those speed subs, crit rate subs, crit damage subs, a little bit of accuracy as well. Speed. This one's got, you know, the 15% crit rate, a bit of defense. This is probably the worst relic on him, which is pretty nice because it's a pretty good relic. This one, like, perfect subs for Drew. Crit damage, speed, crit rate, and accuracy. Rolled 1 into each. Not too bad. And then this one here has the 15 crit rate, the 10 crit damage. Honestly, I think I'll get an improve for this one eventually, but it's good enough for now. So that is my Drew. Moving on from that, we have... Who was the next one? Where is she? Okay, we have Bastet. Now... my Bastet / Bernice, she's not even maxed out on relics. You just want the double HP and speed on her. I've got her on Sword Avatara. It doesn't really matter. You don't need that for this. You just want to, you know, fast with high HP so she can cycle turns and do it. Honestly, these relics are not the greatest at all. She's fairly slow at 85 speed. You know, she's just got an average set that I slapped on her, and she works perfectly fine like that. And then we have the Yeshua. Now, she is on my set, like, she's on my fastest set, except I swapped this one out because my fastest set has an 8 speed here. I've got a really bad speed set on this account, but my fastest one has 8 speed sub, but it's like a flat defense. So I chucked her on this one. So, you know, 136 speed. Like I said, over on my other account, I think I've got like a plus 168 speed or something like that. So if I could get her to that speed, I feel like I might be able to two-man this. But, you know, this is the kind of speed that works in this team. I think a bit slower would be fine, but you really want to stack that HP in defense. She is only neutral on the boss, so you know, you want to give her the good defensive stats. So don't sacrifice the good stats down here, the good main stats, for a little bit of, you know, speed. I think having her survive, because especially if she's at 5-star, if she's 6-star, you can sacrifice the tanky stats for some extra speed. But when she's only 5-star, I found, you know, when I was two-manning, she was the one dying, and that was my issue. So maybe if she's 6-starred, I could do that as well. But I'm just going to wait till I get some faster relics. So that that is the team. And like I said, you can just bring some fodder. Now, something else to consider is if you're leveling up fodder with it, consider if you have like a 4-star unit or something like that that you want to level up along with them, that you can take a leader skill. Like I said, I'm using the bestowed for the resistance. I don't know how vital that is. Besides that, the other thing that I was thinking of was just like running Unky Chais as my fodder, like one of my fodders to get the extra HP, or, you know, just looking at the 3-stars and their leader skills to grab it. For instance, you could run a Leon as one of your fodder units to get that crit rate if your Drew doesn't have the greatest crit rate. Stuff like that. Just play around with what you have. But like I said, my team's working well. You know, you could always use Tang Yun fodders to get the attack up, but if you're running with fodder, like, don't have to use Starimon. You can use something that has a leader skill that's a 3-star that you're going to feed to other units just to get that bit of a buff. That's a point war one, but yeah, you get the idea. What's he got? Actually, no one's going to have that many of him, but that's the general gist of it. So let's jump back in. Let's check out the final run. We are on the boss again. We just got there by the looks of it. Now, you can come into the boss fairly low on HP, which sucks when you do, and you can get quite low. Like I said, I haven't had a fail yet. The thing is, like I said, because I had a 50% win rate with just Drew and Yeshua, I've had Yeshua die before, I've had Bernice die before in this, and the other two can 2-man it. So that's the awesome thing about this. Drew seems to never, I don't know why, he just never gets the rock dropped on his head, probably because he's consistently fully topping himself up with the Hades set. So he's just never getting rocks dropped. So he is pretty safe from here on. And like I said, if one of the other two unluckily die, then the remaining units can just take it away and finish the battle. So all in all, pretty safe, pretty reliable team. Not going to do it with just basic entry level relics. But like I said, if you are struggling on Chronos 10, try targeting the right crystal. Like I said, it's been working for people. It can really take away a bit of that annoying RNG where in the fight, maybe, you know, you've progressed through, you've used a bit of attack bar manipulation, the timing gets off, Chronos attacks, gets boosted straight away and just wipes something because you didn't have a chance to get mitigation up. Ooh, Drew got rocked. And as you can see, didn't take much damage from it at all. When you can stack that attack break as well, which we don't have on at the moment, with the defense buff, with a shield, you're not getting hit for much damage. So that is going to be the 10th run. Hopefully it doesn't prove me to be a fool and, you know, have 3 wins and 7 losses, but we'll see. We'll also have a look at the average time because I think it's around 2.5 minutes. So let's open this. Hopefully we got some godly relics as well. Ooh, double 6-star. Thank you very much. So there we go. That was a 2:39. So average time 3 minutes. Okay, I understated a bit. So 2:38 was the fastest, average 3 minutes. But like I said, 3-minute runs, you can still do 10 refills with those speeds. And if you're not, you can always just swap over to your main team, do some faster runs at the end of the day if you have to, depending on your schedule. Let's check out the relics. Yuck. Let's sell the relics. Thank you. Give me the gold. And that is going to be it for the team. But like I said, pretty cool team. Free to play. Chronos 10 with 3 units. Allows you to farm that experience as you go. And I mean, you're getting pretty good gold from Chronos now with the buff to the selling of relics. It's just an all-round awesome farming team. So yes, I will try and advance mine to 2-star, to 2 units. If I do get it to a reliable 2 units, I'll show you the stats that I'm using on the Yeshua and the Drew to see if you guys want to copy something similar. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.